And now we are technically live on the YouTube stream.
Cool. So folks are watching this match on Sheet C. They're hearing us.
Correct.
That's a fun little tidbit.
Yeah. So I'm here with Perry.
Yes. Peter and I are here. We don't actually. Oh, there we have another score put up on the board. So we think we're in the third end.
We should be because we're going away.
Yep.
And this is actually one of our closer matches tonight.
Yeah, it is 2-1. Red. They have the hammer here in this third end. So they're. Looks like he's just trying to draw and sit right on that back stone there. From what we can tell. And
that red is back just far enough that if they sit.
Yeah, it's just a little.
Oh, not quite.
Yeah. No, it was a good idea because it was hidden.
They said they'd be red on the button. It's a good shot. It's a good call.
It's not quite enough on it. So.
Hello. We will see. There is a possibility for a double here.
Yeah.
If yellow wants to call that next, and if red wants to decide to guard that up first.
Just catching people up because we just started calling this game.
So they are thinking about this.
Yeah, and I was wrong. Yellow has the hammer.
Yellow has hammer.
Each had 2 left when I looked down last. Okay, so yeah.
So yeah, yellow's running out of options here. They got one more stone left. They'll have hammer after this.
Peter, what do you think the plan is here for red? Are they going to try and just cover this up? Or?
I think red just guards it here. You guard it here, there's almost nothing. You're going to force yellow to hit an angle raise back towards the button. There's a lot of room for it, but it's also a tough shot. A lot of room for error.
So you're covering up your red stones here?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, alternatively, you could cover up the yellow. I don't think that that's the smarter move necessarily, but some of that, this is the beauty of club curling. This is kind of an any given Sunday situation. Yeah. But if I'm yellow, I've got 2 stones 3 stones in the house right now. If I can get rid of both of those reds. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this call is. It looks like they're just going to try and draw for a second.
I don't think so. I think this is a guard here. It's nice and light. They're not on it yet. You just cover up that red. You take away the double op, and now you're basically going to force yellow to maybe throw a draw back there. There's a lot of opportunity for that. Ooh.
It's a little wide if it's a guard.
Yeah, a little wide. The call might have been a draw there.
I think it was, but yeah, you're right. There's different there's a plethora of options.
Yeah, this is the problem with that exposing it. You could go for the double. It does look like they might play a little more conservatively here.
You see the run back?
Angle raise, yeah.
Okay. So with red leading early here, 2-1 in the third end. It looks like with this last stone, they're going to try to run back their stone and just. Depending on how high, we don't have an overhead, but depending on how high that that red guard is, they potentially get a couple here.
Yeah, they're throw heavy enough. Ooh, that feels pretty heavy, but it feels a little wide.
Yeah. Yeah, they might be able to get a tick here, but it's not going to help them.
And now they got to go for a plan B and see if they can roll in.
Roll in, and it might do it.
That's going to do it.
Wow.
Oh.
Quite a shot there.
No cowbells out here on the ice tonight to cowbell that shot, but it deserved it. Maybe not the called shot, but it's still a good outcome.
And that's my favorite kind of shot, too, because oftentimes I will not hit the called shot, but sometimes still be rewarded.
I think that's the beauty of club curling, too, though. You call a plan A that maybe is a plan B, or maybe has a plan B as your ideal outcome.
Yeah. Well.
And I don't know, that might have even been plan C, plan D.
The red skip just, I think, chirped us from down below. So. Anyway, it's a good game.
We want to talk smack. That's fine. We can do that.
2-2. It's 2-2.
2-2.
This is the 8 o'clock draw here at Frogtown. If you are joining us here, you're in for a treat because Peter and I are here testing out some audio for this weekend's. The Spiel here that will be calling the championship game up. Somebody will be on Sunday.
Yeah, we have the Polar Spiel coming up this weekend. It's going to be a good time. It's full already, but if y'all want to come
it filled up pretty quickly.
It did. We were lucky.
Some were lucky. I wasn't as lucky. That's why I'm to be up here. I'm just kidding.
If y'all still want to come out and watch, there's bound to be some good curling. Probably not on my sheet, but I shouldn't say that. My opponents might curl really well. We will be a.
Plus, we hope you're in the championship game and not up here calling the game with me. The championship game on Sunday. All right. So early on here in the fourth, and it looks like Red's going to go right after it here.
Hey, hope you guys paid for premium seating.
Oh, now we got Billy chirping at us now.
I'm not sure they know what's going on, but that's fine.
I don't think so. That's okay.
looks like a good-looking guard here, I believe.
I think that was supposed to maybe be a drop.
Draw
with
behind?
how wide it was. Maybe leave it light instead. Give yourself some other options.
We talk about plan Bs. That's not a bad one here.
Yeah, exactly. We got nationals happening in Duluth right now.
Yeah, I've been watching it all day.
And you see a lot of calls. 100% expecting the shooter to make that throw. That's just not how it works.
No, not even at that level.
That's okay.
Not even at that level. It's actually pretty interesting watching, teams competing for the national championship, and even they make mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. I watched a couple of hog throws on.
Did you? Yeah.
This morning on the first couple of draws. It just makes you feel a little bit better.
Now, this is certainly the same call as the red, I think, the draw behind here.
Draw behind. Feels a little heavy, but I think it's going to sit buried.
Yeah.
Just on the back four. A little bit past that.
Moving
Definitely not
bit.
a bad stone. Sheet C seems to be moving tonight, which is good. We like to see that. Nice fast ice here at Frogtown.
Not as fast as the ice that we're seeing in Duluth, obviously, but. All right. What's the call here, Peter?
I think they're going to keep going behind it. They've got backing now too.
Yep.
It makes sense. If they're a little wide, you have the tap back. It's another good club curling situation.
Weight looks pretty good here, you think?
Weight looks really good, but now the question is, what are they angling for? Do they want the tap back or do they want the draw?
Looks like it's going to get around.
It is going to get around. I don't think it's. Oh, it is going to be deep enough. It's pretty exposed, though.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets a little interesting.
So now you have Red has the hammer here, and they're. So this is where these middle stones can get important, Peter, because you don't want to get too far behind. You're going to be fighting them behind the whole time, even when you have the hammer.
That's a great point. This is a good example of Skip's patience. Do you chase, or do you say, I'm going to worry about this later?
Mm-hmm. Looks like it's a pretty good takeout here.
This is going to work well, and I think if they can avoid, and that's the problem with it. Yep.
I spoke too soon, but it did the first job.
Now it got out where they wanted it, a hit and roll out wide. That's probably not worth chasing for Red, but now Red's already got one back there. It's time to get another one in, otherwise they could be in trouble.
This is where you start thinking about multiple points in an end.
Absolutely.
If you're Red. If you can stack a few stones up.
Right. Sometimes at club level, you aren't always thinking about the 2 points until later in the end. You see how it is.
Yeah.
I think that's a big difference with pro level curling, where you're going in. I'm gonna get 2, if not more, and then you have to adjust your expectations as it goes. This looks nice. They've got good weight control here.
Yeah.
Needs to curl a little bit more though, otherwise they're in for the same situation. It's a little heavy too. Maybe overswept a touch.
Yeah. Again, not terrible weight though.
They are leaving a bit of a backboard though.
Yeah. So is yellow gonna? Do you think they're gonna keep trying to get just drawing behind and sit on those? Maybe sit on that backstone there. Well, it looks like they're gonna take it out.
This is an aggressive move that I think is maybe the right call at this stage.
Maybe hit and try to roll behind their own guard.
Yeah, depends on how heavy they go here. You could hit and
you could roll either way, right?
Even if you spill here, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Say make them make that shot again.
Sure.
Because that red one on the other side is pretty exposed.
Okay.
This feels a little narrow though, so.
Yeah. If it can,
that, it's not a terrible outcome. You get rid of that guard, now it's a lot more open. Now, red could be very aggressive and go after the yellow on the wing, but I don't think that's the less patient move here. Put another guard up, see what happens.
If you don't have the hammer, how open do you want the front of the house to be?
You don't.
You want it to be closed up.
Junk up front, baby.
So that's why it was more of a potentially a bad shot there for yellow, because you wanted that guard out there. Theoretically.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. It depends on if you're worried now that red is going to steal a bunch. So having that thing gone, if red is going to get a bunch.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible outcome.
Not a bad outcome. Yeah, I was going to say.
You're still pretty exposed on the other side, though.
Yeah. All right, so with yellow has 3 stones left here in the end. What do you think four stones left? What do you think?
So we're in Vice Rocks here.
Yeah. What's the plan here if you were skipping yellow here?
Well, you got to still be aggressive, and I think what they're doing here is the right call. They're going to try to hit one of these out.
Mm-hmm.
There is a possibility to get them both out, and maybe that's a plan A, plan B sort of situation. You throw it with maybe get one of them gone, and if you get them both, you are happy with the outcome.
Is there a name for that when they're sitting that close together? I always call them like a rattler, but that's a term I made up myself. So
I like that. I feel like that's a good one. I'm going to start using that.
Well,
although this isn't a great,
it's not coming to fruition.
This was a bad rattler.
It was not a rattler at all, because it came up a little short. But it does open up the center here. Red's still sitting 2.
Yeah, red's in a pretty good situation here. They're going to start looking at trying to close this down. Maybe sit deep enough that they can guard and also have another counter.
Yeah, this looks like a guard call, but right inside the 8 at least is going to be very helpful.
Pretty tight line calls here. I'm not sure if C's not moving very much.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I think you might be right. Let's see. Well, now they're on it, so a little tight even for the.
Feels pretty heavy though. This is going to be. It is curling quite a bit, so I'm not sure. Maybe the plan B is you pull behind that yellow. That's okay. Get something up at the top.
It's not going to be too far off the call when it's all said and done here. A little bit deeper maybe, but again, they're scoring 3.
You do expose yourself a bit here to maybe a freeze, or there's a double here. There's actually a couple of doubles here, and in fact, I think that's what they're going to shoot at.
Yeah.
There's possibly a triple here. It's a tough triple at this level.
That'd be fun.
It's got plenty of weight. Feels a little wide though.
It has to move about a stone here.
Yeah. Oh, he went for the plan B to try to get on that back one.
Yeah.
But not early enough.
So this is what I asked you before about kind of a little bit playing from behind. If you're going 1 for 1 at this point, you're not in really good shape, right? Because you're going to run out of stones.
Yes.
Now, again, Red's going to put that stone right back out there, it looks like.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you leave it a little higher this time. You've got the opportunity.
So why would you want to leave it higher in this situation?
So you leave it higher so that if yellow got a hit and stick, granted, yellow doesn't have hammer, but still you don't want to give them stones in play.
It's also harder to run back.
Correct.
Okay. This looks wide.
If it dies here, it might be okay. Any place along that center line is going to be really good. I think they needed to curl a little bit more.
Here it comes.
Still more curl would be better. If they can have it flirting with the center line, it would be really nice. So that's still pretty good offset.
Yeah.
There's maybe a port here. He's looking at it. It's tight, but I think it's there.
So the problem is, even if you hit this, you can roll out. It could peel out, and you could still end up giving up 2.
Correct. So yeah, you'd have to throw pretty hard to hit that port. It's maybe not worth it.
Yeah.
What you could do, and maybe this is the better idea, I'm not sure what they're thinking right now.
Yeah.
You could try to come around that yellow guard, sit somewhere even semi-buried on that side. If you're exposed on the outside, you can't hit that without sending it back into the red. It's not a bad spot to be. Out-count a couple of those red stones, make them think about what they're going to throw here.
We haven't seen a lot. They're not doing that, but we haven't seen a lot of draws on that intern there.
Yeah.
That side of the ice, really, we haven't seen much of it all. It's been almost exclusively on the.
There are 2. Yeah, there's still 2 yellow stones. So I don't mind this for this shot here.
Okay, you're right. Just skip
try to get him
yeah.
down a little bit in the house. Okay. There's still the double here. It's maybe the call that's maybe a bit wider than I would have thought. But then again, it is curling. Depends on how heavy they're thinking.
Called them on right away. And
this
they do need
still going to hang wide. It needs to curl quite a bit. Might be on.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah.
That's gonna maybe put. Well, not quite enough. Not enough.
They're in about the same situation they were in.
At least, so red's sitting 2.
Yep.
It's not bad.
Let's see what the call. It looks like he wants to.
I think they're gonna just put it back again. It seems to be working. They're putting him into a tough spot.
And when you have hammer, it's nice to be ahead like this and forcing yellow to.
Oh yeah, if you have hammer and you've got your skips throwing guards, like it's not a bad spot to be in whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what he really does want though is this to be maybe flirting with the 8 foot, deep enough to outcount that other yellow, or at least make red have to do something else other than just hit the back corner red.
Right. So ideally touching top of the 8. Right.
Touching top of the 8 would be perfect. Nice and high, but still out counting the 1 yellow.
Scoring 3.
Make yellow throw something else.
Yeah.
If you can get just inside, like basically dead on the center line, but even maybe a touch to the right of it, so that you take away a tap up from that yellow, that would be really nice.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Taking that high yellow out of play for
correct.
Just score.
Yes. Because that might be a desperation move that that yellow might try to play here. That tap back is pretty open right now.
This looks like it's got pretty good weight.
Yeah, I think it needs to curl more though.
It's not going to be top 8, but I think it's going to be in a good spot. Just to guard it up.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Make yellow make a tough throw. If they miss it, then you could have an open hit out wide for a bunch.
I think that's in a perfect spot. There's nowhere to there's not a lot of good drawing, not good angles to draw in.
I do think that port is there, but it is very, very narrow.
To try and take out?
Yeah, they could try to hit it.
Yeah.
I think if they hit it, they're probably sticking.
Okay.
Or maybe it'll roll just a slight bit. It's probably not the safest bet. They're almost better off coming around. And this is another situation where maybe you throw the draw, try to get behind that yellow. You could bite even the back 4 buried and be sitting shot in a really tough spot.
Yeah. The thing what I mentioned earlier though about this side of the ice,
they haven't thrown
over there.
Yeah,
we don't know how it's playing. Maybe they might have a better idea than we do because we just got up here about
I'm sure
15 minutes ago. But yeah, so that draws the call. Do they want this to sit on that back red in the back of the 4 foot?
No.
Okay.
They'd be much better off sitting up top 4 if they can get it there. But they have a little bit of wiggle room for how far back.
Even with how close that guard is to the house, they can get it around. Okay. Let's see.
It's a much more finesse shot than a lot of other shots might be.
And then,
but here you can see they've got weights. He's out quite a bit. But now they have, they got some backing. It's not the worst thing if they freeze up on that back red.
It looks like it's getting inside the 8.
Ooh.
Okay, it looks like it's outscoring. So second rock now.
It's definitely second.
And at least it's for the first time in this end, they're making red think about something here.
Correct. Red has to decide how aggressive they want to be.
Right. You have the hammer. You're already scoring 1. If you try and take this out, you can end up knocking your own stone out.
But you also don't have to throw that hard.
True.
If you look at this and you say, I'm good with 3, you come into the end, you should say, what are you willing to do? If they want their deuce, they could do a couple different things. If they really want 3, they only have to move that yellow back diagonally a couple of feet. They could throw something like hack or backline if they can get inside of it enough.
You're saying coming around that same line, essentially, with a little more power.
If you get inside of nose on the yellow,
just tap it out.
If inside of nose on the yellow, you'll get a nice roll in and probably send the yellow out. Even if
for 3,
if you get inside of nose on it, even if it does smash on that back red a little bit, you're still going to get 2.
Yep.
And so I'm assuming that's what they're looking at right now. The question is just how hard they want to throw it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight angle.
Now, on this type of shot, Peter, if they're too far wide, you could end up giving up 1.
Correct.
That's
true.
That's the biggest problem with this shot.
And that's part of the reason why I think throwing lighter here is better.
Yeah.
You throw too heavy, with the exception being like if you throw heavy enough, you could sweep it out and probably miss it entirely.
Right.
But if you throw light enough, you might be able to call it off early enough to make sure that it doesn't do any more damage out that wide.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I like it because I like being aggressive. Just that's the one thing I caution with this shot.
Yep.
If it hangs out too wide, you can end up tapping that yellow stone.
And hopefully that's where you rely on your sweepers here to make sure that they can give you a good judgment call on that weight early. If they say it's hot, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
So they're calling on right away. I think it's
now
tight. They gotta worry about crashing into the top yellow, and so now they gotta call off. Now the port inside is open. Can they get there?
It might just not have enough. Let's see. Oh, sneaking through.
Are they going to get deep enough? I don't think they are.
No.
I don't think they are.
1 red, I think. Well, that shot at everything.
That was a real roller coaster.
It was a real roller coaster ride. The key was, right. I think you made a good point. The key was they threw it wide enough where it wasn't going to necessarily hurt them no matter where it was.
They had opportunities.
Yeah. Really good on there. So red retakes the lead, 3-2.
Yeah, just a single point there.
Yeah.
That's tough, but maybe the safer call. Good outcome. You want your deuce. At club curling, sometimes that's okay. You just get the 1, you walk away. It's okay.
I feel like I've played against the skip for the yellow team here at another club, but I can't quite see him. He's kind of far away.
Actually, I think we have. And I think you and I have played against this skip together.
Okay, that makes sense then.
At least based on the hats that they're wearing.
Okay.
I do think that maybe we've played this team or part of this team over at our sister club. St. Paul.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Looks like a standard now.
Center line guard.
First row, center line guard, yeah.
It's almost automatic. Sometimes at club you'll see teams throw in intentionally.
Is it 4 or 5 of first stones cannot be removed from play by the opposing team?
5.
It's 5.
So the hammer team's second can always hit.
Yep. Okay.
Hammer team's second can always hit.
So that's the reason for the guard.
Yes.
How long ago was that rule put into play in in curling to kind of create more strategy?
That's a great question. I believe that was around 10 years ago.
Okay.
15 years ago.
Because a lot of times you just see takeouts just constantly throughout the game.
And that's exactly why it got put into place.
Right.
Is if you're up, you just hit everything. You can hit everything, and then you could also you can also just intentionally blank ends when you can hit everything. Yep. If you're good enough at hitting, you just throw heavy enough.
And that's come with the development of just the highest quality of curling. When people aren't missing shots, then it becomes less entertaining and less strategy. So,
and that's why the no tick has gone into effect too.
For a lot of tournaments have no tick rules as well, which means it doesn't matter if the stone moves slightly, you have to put it back.
So if we were playing no tick rules, that red guard would be perfect because it's on the center line. You cannot hit that off of the center line.
So that's not true for any guard. It's only
if it's on the center line.
Okay.
Yep. And that's to take away the camera team advantage. This is a very nice draw behind. Nice draw.
Yeah. Maybe a little deeper than
very
wanted,
nice.
But
It's going to be about button.
Okay.
A little deep. Yeah, you're right. A little deep. But where they're at, that's a good. That's okay.
Right.
They have the tap back concern, but that's a pretty tough shot. You don't see it a lot.
So right away again, red is out on the front foot in this end. Looks like the yellow team's just content to. Are you gonna try to run this back here?
I think they're gonna start chasing.
Okay.
So this is maybe a less patient call, but maybe playing to strengths. Yellow team is also playing three-handed, so that will cause some different strategy.
That was just wide, I think.
I think that was a bit wide. A bit wide with the weight that they wanted to bump it back.
Yeah.
If you don't make contact there, it's never going to stick around. A lot of frustration from that throw. It's too bad.
They're talking about it here.
Yeah.
So red's back up here, sitting with one in the perfect position. Let's see what they're going to do here.
So here's another aggressive, conservative option. Do you throw another one in?
Yeah.
Or try to throw another one in, or do you throw the guard here? I really like throwing another one in.
Okay.
I think it's a really good call. It maybe takes away that hit outside. It's also a good idea if you're willing to say, I'm fine if they get one. You know, if you're red and you don't want yellow to get more than two, getting another one in here is a really good, smart call.
I like the weight on this.
I like this. I like the line a lot. It might be a touch light, but it looks good. They are sweeping quite a bit. They're around
You're
it.
Right.
Top 8 here would even be really good if they can get it there. It looks close. That's a nice guard. I like that a lot. Should be out counting the yellow. It's more than biting. I think that yellow is biting.
I think you're right.
It does mean that they could hit that one back, but you're probably spilling the shooter, and then you could throw one on top of the yellow if they need to. So yeah, is yellow going to start thinking about peeling guards now too?
Yeah. Just getting that out of the way. Now.
It's not a bad idea with the way these are stacked up, although it looks like that's a bit of a miss. It gets the job done. It got rid of the guard.
Nice peel. On that top guard. So now you do that right away, early enough in the end where you're not worrying about it late. You don't want to worry about it later.
Correct. They say the rule of thumb is if you're asking yourself, should I peel that guard? It's time to peel the guard.
And we've seen some pretty accurate shooting here for the most part here on Sheet C at Frogtown on this Wednesday night.
I also think that lead there wanted some redemption from the previous
earlier. Yeah,
might have had something to do with it.
Absolutely,
it was a very good peel. This feels a little heavy. I'm a little worried about this.
Yeah, it really needs to move. Well, it's starting to
curl. It might.
It's getting a lot better.
That's going to be okay. Ooh, boy, is that close, though. That's maybe not quite.
That's what you were worried about. Is it running back? No, you're running into your own stone there. With there. That's why you don't want. Is that one of the reasons you don't want to hit your own stone a lot or the other team's stone a lot of times?
I mean, if you do, you want to make sure that you're throwing it heavy enough to get it out.
Right. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you could end up like that, where now that yellow is turned into potentially scoring stone for yellow.
Now this does still ultimately work out well for red. There is a port there. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, I don't know.
They might try to throw it anyways, but they could also try to run some stuff back. Maybe get a double out of this.
Okay.
But if yellow misses, red's in a good situation to try to throw another guard up and be in really good position. That yellow sitting where it is could come into play later. So it's not a bad outcome for them.
Or as far as red's concerned, you mean?
Yeah.
Because it could keep another redstone in play.
It could. It could also work for yellow too here. If they can start peeling some of this out, having that stone right where it is. Skip doesn't look too happy about this though.
Well, it cleared a guard, and it kind of opened up that stone sitting on the button.
Right. Problem is, red probably just throws the guard.
Guard here. It looks like they're doing it.
And if they're a little heavy, it's okay. Can't be upset if you get honestly a freeze on this here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great plan B. And if you leave it pretty high, that's okay too. Especially if it's wide. Lots of options. You love to have options when you're a skip.
Oh yeah.
Mine looks good.
They're on it right away. I mean,
it really is curling there late.
yeah, they want this to stay as straight as possible.
They do. They want it to sit far enough out.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good effort. I think it's a little open, especially with where red is. I think yellow has a good opportunity to come around. You could even throw maybe even board or hack weight. It looks like they're going to look at closer to hack weight.
Yeah.
You get around that front red. You bump the red that's on the button back. You're sitting two.
It's a wider broom, right? So it's going to be a little more.
Yeah. Maybe they're looking at more like backline weight.
Yeah. That's what I think he just pointed. I think you might be right.
I like that. That's a very patient move because backline weight, you can maybe get around that front red enough to get a nice roll.
Like he's worried about it. He's worried about. No, he's not worried about it.
It's a little heavier.
Yeah.
Yep. That's definitely hack plus.
He's going to get a piece of it.
He will. It's going to be gone. Oh, it's not going to be gone. Oh, okay.
Now it's even more buried.
Yep.
It was the right idea.
Yeah, they either needed to be
heavier,
a good amount heavier or much less heavy.
To try and kind of sit on it.
The
okay. Well, now,
terrible part of the missing and curling. It always feels like you needed to go any other direction than what you threw.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's you feel like it's doubly bad at some point.
Yeah.
So let's see.
That's pretty tight for a guard. I assume it's try to put this top 12, top 8.
Let's see.
You know that left side is a little exposed though from back here. Not perfectly, but maybe enough that you could get around that and sit just enough inside the forefoot.
They're trying to cover this up, right?
I assume they're going to try to cover this up. A little deep is fine. This is going to be okay to cover that. The corner of the forefoot's going to be a little open, but with a very, very tough shot.
From what we can tell, red's sitting 1 here. We don't have the overhead that folks watching back home do.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that they're sitting 1. I think that yellow is flirting with the forefoot.
Yeah.
And there's no other red in sight there.
They are curling away from us. They're throwing away from us. All right. Second vice stone here for yellow.
I'm not sure what the call is here.
Yeah.
For yellow?
Yeah.
Are they going to try to blow stuff up?
I think so. And
he sent that wide.
Yeah.
He's not happy about it. Oh, boy.
Other games going on here.
Yep. Yeah. Not ideal. Definitely some frustration boiling up there.
Now
it's not that far. Like, the game is still pretty close.
Yeah. It's not right. It's certainly not lost. You're sitting in, You're down potentially 2 if things hold here in the 5th. Running out of time, too. A couple minutes to the horn.
We don't buzz late.
Oh, we don't buzz late. What a treat.
Yep. So they'll get to play out all 8 if they want to. So they have even more time. That's the difference here is you stop and think about, like, okay, maybe you just try to do what you can to get 1 here, walk away, think about it a little bit, reset.
That would have been a tough hit no matter what they were able to make contact with on that left side.
I'm not sure what the game plan there is unless they wanted to hit the yellow to spill the red.
Yeah.
And then open that red that's there up a little bit. It's not a bad idea. But that's also kind of and granted, even if you hit the back red, you're probably not in too tough of shape, other than you might possibly hit your yellow in the back there, and then they'd be sitting very much buried.
A lot of unknowns there.
Yeah.
We take that shot. So this looks like they're going to try and guard at that left side, or maybe even draw in.
Yeah, I think after watching them try to throw that there, you could throw a guard almost any place on this side, and it's going to be good.
You think Red's content here with the 1 stone the one?
I'd be fine stealing 1 right
stealing
now.
1? Okay.
Especially, this is when you get into some of the mind game aspects of this game, where, like, if you see your opponents are a little frustrated and you take a steal of 1 here, you can keep dialing that up. They might start feeling a little extra desperate. They might try to take some more chances on throws.
Yeah.
Make them make mistakes.
Also, you saw what your opponent just tried to do.
Right.
Your natural reaction is to say, all right, well,
let's cover up what they're trying to do there.
What can we do to stop them from doing that? It looks like they did. That's a really good guard.
Yep. I will say, I think if they really did just want to blow that up a little bit, that's still there. But now that's a really, really tough shot to just open up another shot.
All right, so
we had to assure the teams down there that they weren't hearing things. It is, in fact, us.
There's no ghosts in the balcony here at Frogtown. So, with 2 stones left for yellow, right, you're running out of opportunities.
Here it is. They're going to do it anyways.
They're going to try and...
Basically, they're saying, I'm going to hit that port twice.
Yeah.
That's what this throw is. I'm going to try to hit that port twice.
Bit wide. Oh, maybe they're just trying to run that guard back.
That could work.
If they weren't, they are now.
Yeah, that's the plan B now. It's close.
Nice.
Oh, that's not bad.
I like it.
That's not a bad plan B here.
And when you're throwing something they may not necessarily be wanting to do, as long as you're knocking the other team's stones out, it's generally good.
Now, here's my one problem.
Okay.
I don't know if you can get around the yellow that's closest to the house.
Okay.
Like get close enough to send that back into the red. At this point, you almost need to try to raise the corner yellow, which is a real tough shot. That's a very, very low
almost
angle
like what
shot.
they just did, but again, that yellow gets in the way again.
Correct. Yeah.
For both of those shots.
You have very little room for error. The good news is you don't have to stick.
Yeah.
So you can throw heavy and let it spill. And throwing heavy might be better to get the line that you want.
True.
Depending on how confident the skip is at throwing that weight. Because here now, I think they're going to try to plug that port. I'm not sure plugging that port is better than plugging the outside. And I think they're maybe looking at that now too.
They're talking about what the other team. That's another thing when you're talking about the other team scenarios while you're doing this. Too.
Correct. Now the other thing that is maybe in play.
Yeah.
It's hard to see just how far back that red is, but I do think you could maybe get a draw around on the outside.
Okay.
To just get into the 4-foot enough. Maybe you kiss the button from the right side.
Yeah.
It's a tough angle there. You got to get a late break. It's much, much harder.
That draw is tougher than the run
it requires such touch.
Right.
I'm not sure that it's harder than it, but it is like it does require you to be confident in your weight and your sweepers to get there.
No, I fully agree. I think they're both difficult. I think that's what Reds put themselves in a position here.
And I think ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to have to throw the opposite of whatever happens here. Feels narrow.
Yeah. Let's see. Looks like they want to hit this yellow. The way they're sweeping, but no, it's going to find its way into that.
I think you get it in there deep enough. This is actually pretty good, as long as it stops.
Yeah. Almost had some deja vu from the previous end there.
Interesting, they may have just given yellow the rubric of what to throw here to get that back enough.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure the angle is there, though.
To get that to move?
Well, I think the angle is there to get it to move. The question is, can you get it to move and sit just closer than the back red? You're already sitting second.
And you know which angle the stone's going to come off at.
Because it's basically locked.
It's locked to that red. So it's going to be towards your own stone.
There could be enough space that the drag effect is in play, but whether or not they want to risk doing that is a different situation. I'm also not sure that with the directions there that necessarily works. But
right. It's just a tough way as well, right? Just to try and run that.
Oh, yeah, you got to be perfect with just how heavy you want to throw that. Oh, they are going to do it, though. Just clip the red, he said.
Okay.
It's got to throw just about the right weight, though. Probably about T, maybe back forward, given the angle.
Yeah.
You might just barely sit there.
They're playing the draw. So he's playing the draw.
I like the draw. I like the draw here.
Right.
It's tough, but, we've been getting a lot of curl here at Frogtown this year. Mm-hmm. You get outside of that red.
The key is just clearing that guard.
Yep. Now, the hard part is, doing this with a single sweeper.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he's got to get out there.
Tough. Yeah. And I think he's going to need his thrower's help here.
It's light.
It's light. It's too light. That's rough.
He realizes it.
That's a tough shot.
It's a steal for red. They go up 4-2.
We'll see if they can shake it off.
Yeah.
I think if they shake it off, they're not in a bad spot. They got 2 more ends here. 3 more ends, sorry.
It's a pretty competitive match from what we've seen throughout the evening. It was a pretty good competitive match on sheet Canadian A as well. And on
B is pretty close, too.
Yeah, and B.
Now, D is over already, so that's also going to be interesting to see what that does to the ice quality out here.
The adjacent sheet to where we are streaming is empty. It's been empty for about 10 minutes. We'll see what it does to the ice. Coming back on 6. Red after a steal. But you and I played yesterday. I'm subbing tomorrow. You sub tonight.
I'll sub tonight. I play tomorrow, too.
Wow. A lot of curling.
Yeah, I got to shake off all the bad throws I had earlier this week, I feel like the only way to get through it is to get through it,
Yeah, well, I had some good shots yesterday, but I just still need to get out there because it's too much fun.
Now, Perry, was that the first time you've iced?
What's that?
Was last night the first time you threw Vice?
Yeah, no, third.
Third. Oh, so you've done it a couple times.
Yeah. Our skip has ditched us a few times.
Yeah, Sam does that sometimes.
Yeah. So it's fun. We got to win without him. So.
All right, we're gonna let this develop here a little bit.
Yeah.
And check back in just a couple of minutes.
And we're back here on Sheet C, Frogtown Curling Club in St. Paul, Minnesota. You obviously know where you are because you clicked on the link. 4-2 red leads here as yellow looks to come back in the sixth end. And they're set up pretty well here after a couple of guards. Looks like they're trying to put one up themselves. Now this is going to try to move it in behind that center guard there. And yellow on the offensive here, sitting 2 now. Peter's downstairs checking the audio. See what Red's plan is here. Yellow with hammer here this end. And I'm not sure how much they can see of this yellow stone, but the plan is to take it out. Looks like you can probably see half of it from where I'm sitting. Worst case, you take out your own guard there. Give yourself some room. This is a, looks like a decent line to at least clip it. Maybe a double could be in play. It just needs to come over just a hair. Looks like a pretty good shot. I like it. And was somewhat effective there. It's tough when you want it to move that much, get enough pace on it. Let's try and knock out both stones. See what the call is here. Looks like another hit. It's a little wide. Yeah, that's a miss. See what the answer is here for red team tonight. Looks like they're gonna just gonna draw it in. Yellow sitting 1, or excuse me, yellow sitting 1. So red will try and draw in behind. They get a tip on their own stone there. Not the end of the world. They could push it back potentially into scoring position, but looks like it's moving a little too much. Looks like it's headed for the guards. Can they sneak it through that court? Wow, maybe. Not the end of the world, but that scoring stone for yellow is very buried here. You can almost hear the skips when they're at this end of the ice. Another chance of the takeout here. This one looks better. Looks like he's gonna get it. He likes it. It's there all the way. Good looking shot. Red discussing their next play here. They're up by 2. But they're in a bit of a predicament here in the sixth end. With 5 stones to go. Long look at this. No clear play here. Let's see what they do. And I'm glad I don't have to think of something here because I don't think I could. It's a bit of a puzzler. So after a long deliberation, it looks like they're going to try and hit here, maybe separate that.
Oh, they're gonna do a double run back to hit the yellow.
That's what I think
oh,
it
no,
is.
it's curling the wrong
It's
way.
curling the wrong way, though.
Get the yellow out of the way first, and then maybe.
Okay,
deal with it
yeah.
later.
I think this is the call. I think I just read it wrong.
Ooh.
Almost got the
okay
unintentional double there, but yeah. So that's not bad. There are options. There are things available there. In a worst case scenario, you just remove that stone. That's
right.
Not a bad play. How did it sound downstairs? Did you get a chance to listen at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
I told them where you went, so.
Oh, okay.
We've kind of fourth walled that situation a little bit today.
A little peek behind the curtain.
Peek behind the curtain,
folks.
yeah. For all of our viewers. All right. So,
yeah, so
yellow,
this is good.
Yeah, yellow set up. They're down by 2, but they're in good position here.
Yeah, even just scoring 1 here could be what they really need.
True. To get back on track. Because a lot of times, if you give up 2 in a row, you feel like things can snowball. And that certainly can happen mentally for your team.
Well, and and I find this especially too when you're shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes not having hammer is a huge boost.
Yeah. This is a good looking shot here. Just got a little.
When you got 2 people who get to throw 3 stones, you give someone 3 shots at something.
I feel like I'm better when I do.
That tends to be a big benefit.
Yeah, I like it. I think you just get a better feel for everything when you're throwing 3.
And so sometimes,
especially from lead.
When you the opportunity to steal can be a little bit better.
Yeah. Another hit coming here from red.
Get on the outside here. You could maybe have something fun.
Might be able to hit that one in the back as well. Needs to move a little bit.
I don't know if it's heavy enough to move both of those out of the way, though. Oh, no.
The angle's not there. I just didn't move for him. I thought the line
it looked good out of hand.
The line didn't look that bad. The line did not look that bad. And it didn't look like it was thrown that hard. You know what I mean? I thought it had a good chance to move, but it just didn't do it. So let's see.
Yeah, yellow sitting 2. They can guard with their lives here.
Yeah, they can tie this thing up right here. Now, if they do put up a guard in front of that on that right side, what are the options here for red? Do you just try to blow things up at this point, or is it too late?
I'm in favor with they have 2 stones after this.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah. I'm in favor of rearranging the deck chairs here.
This is a little heavy for a guard. No, it's not. It's just going to move a little bit too much, maybe.
It's pushing it in towards the center line. That's not going to work.
You'd want that to sit out a little bit, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's not awful.
I don't think it's a bad. Yeah.
It doesn't really change much. What it probably did is make the rearranging option here a lot harder.
That's a good point. Now they only have one stone to hit if you're red.
Although if you are red and you're looking at blowing stuff up, throwing on the outside of the left here.
Yep.
Sending that back. There's a lot of things you can hit that are going to be good.
Yes, you're right. I mean most likely your red that's inside the 8 is going to stay.
But you might be looking at this and say, let's just make sure we only give them 1.
True.
So you get rid of that yellow there. If you can get nose, it's a really nice spot.
This is the safe play, right? If you're coming around this outside.
I think this is the safe play. Is get rid of that.
The fun play is running that left guard back.
Which if you have to, you can do that with your last shot.
Right.
But even if you miss here, you don't obviously don't want to miss here.
I was speaking exclusively for our and the viewers' enjoyment. So here we go. Now that guard comes into play a little bit. They can't throw it quite as hard as they want now because of that yellow.
And it definitely makes the dead center hit, the nose hit,
almost
a little bit tougher.
It's almost impossible.
It's,
I mean,
it's there if you throw like maybe a control weight or something a little bit down. But honestly, if you really want to get dead nose, you probably got to throw board hack.
okay. So,
Oh, that is not what that is.
No, that's heavy. They might be able to clip it, but it's just wide.
I don't think so.
No, it's a good stone wide.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That was parking lot weight.
Yeah, that. The harder you throw it, you have to be even more precise with that line. And
exactly. Yeah. At that point, you almost put the broom right on the edge of the stone.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So now you've got a couple of options.
You're sitting two. You can take away the shot they just tried with another
which is,
guard
I think,
over
what you do.
Okay.
You put that up because then you make them make the really tough shot.
Yeah. Now that could potentially be more damaging.
Could be, but that's one of those where you might just say, if they hit that, they can have it.
Yes.
That's my take on a lot of those tougher shots. Like, hey, let's make them make a really tough shot, and if they hit it, you know what? They deserve it. That's fine.
Guarding the simpler shot is generally the rule of thumb.
Right. You don't want to give them easy hits.
Now you do have hammer. You do have hammer if you're yellow. Keep that in mind as well. So even if they do take out that stone,
which is why, honestly, a really high guard here could be really nice.
Looks
because
like
then you
already
still have
on it.
something that you could maybe. I mean, just over the hog line is great.
Yep. Now they have to get it there.
They are sweeping for curl, though. I mean, it doesn't matter. They didn't get there, but that's tough.
All right. One stone each here in the sixth end, 4-2 red. And they're putting that broom right next to the stone.
Yep, there it is.
He needs to take a little off because that was humming. I've been there before. I've been there too. I try to throw it as hard as I can, and I lose any semblance of accuracy. So,
well, especially if you're pushing it.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Which I personally try not to do. I know a lot of you guys do, but
I think a lot of people will compensate knowing they have to throw heavy enough.
Yeah,
and then add the extra, and it's that extra push that
sends it off course
a little wide.
All right, let's see what happens here. You get another crack at it. Same shot.
Definitely no big ad
this
there,
looks
but
tighter.
now he's narrow.
Now
there's some fun stuff that can happen.
Here we go. If he noses this, yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
All right. Well, it did the job. It did the same job because yellow is now sitting one.
Now,
they still have with one left. What's the bad news? Tell me the bad news.
I don't think there is bad
okay.
news.
All right.
To be fair, like if you're yellow, maybe you're a little upset because now you're throwing for 2 instead of 3.
Yep.
But
that was always
can't be too mad.
That was always there.
That was
right?
that was always a possibility. And if you're red, you got to be happy that like they're only going to get 2 out of this at most.
Because you technically missed on plan A.
Yes.
But
it's a pretty good lucky outcome.
Such as curling, if you can limit them to 1 here, you're in good shape. There's not an obvious draw. They do have to just get in, fully in
the obvious is you come from the right no matter what. Because if you're a little heavy, you've got backing back there.
I mean, I guess there's backing on both sides, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you could use your own yellow for the back. I guess that really doesn't matter that much.
With no
but
stones
I think
left,
with the way that it's at, if you get around the front red, you're probably sitting 2.
Yep.
Even if you bump into your yellow, that's going to be 2. If you're wide enough, you've got the backing in the back corner. Uh-oh. He almost should be on.
He called him off, and I think it might curl too much. Let's see.
Well, yeah, now they almost want to be on it again.
Yeah.
To make sure that it's got enough weight. It's good weight. It's
good weight. Good shot. Really good draw. Yeah.
That's a good skips deuce.
2 for yellow. That ties things up here at 4 after 6.
That also puts yellow in a good spot. You want to have hammer in the even ends.
Right, in the even ends. Yeah, we're watching what? The Nationals, it's the 8th end. You want to.
So there, 2 more ends to play, and they're in a good spot. shake, like I said, shake that off, get some of that confidence in. It's 8 ends. You got time, and now it's a new game. You got just two ends to play. Have a nice tight end, and it's a different situation.
And this D being empty again comes into play here.
Correct. Yeah.
Even more so as the sheet's empty. Everybody else is still playing.
Yep. So it's only C that's likely. C and E are going to have a little bit of an effect of that one sheet that's a little cool.
It cools off
have
a little
bit of edges there that might get a little frosty.
Let's see. They're going to try and get creative here. Looks like just like a center guard.
I think you just got to keep playing tried and true here. You don't want to get too cute.
Good looking guard there.
Definitely going to get the job done.
I like to compliment guards because as someone who's played lead for much of their career to this point, that's all I do. So
I want to have Frogtown branded shirts that say "We cowbell for guards."
Oh, I like that. Get those. I'll get one. I'll get one.
Very important.
I'll get one of those for our current lead, who's a rookie, and he does a great job with it. So, what's the significance of a center guard versus a corner guard? When do you potentially want to be throwing those?
Yeah, so if you have hammer, a corner guard is very, very powerful. You want to have something that you can have protected, that you draw behind, that isn't gumming up things in the center.
Okay.
So typically, if you have hammer, you're going to throw the corner guard instead. If you don't have hammer, you really want that guard to be as close to the button or close to the center line as possible, so that when you throw something behind it, it's as close to the button as possible.
So if the other team throws one through or hogs a guard, and you have the opportunity, you throw that corner guard up.
Typically.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you could also
just throw it.
You could also if they throw the guard and miss.
Okay.
And you have hammer, you could also say, well, I'm just going to throw in. That's a good opportunity to play. Well, we're going to play for 2 or the blank, depending. Yep. Some of that comes down to how confident you are across your entire team at hitting.
Yes.
And so if everyone's decent at hitting, you might throw that and be like, okay, worst case scenario, we peel out or we hit and stick, and now we maybe can score bunches that way. It makes your opponents throw really, really tough shots to like freeze or something like that.
Well, it looks like he's trying to draw in behind that center guard here. Is that
yes, and I think that's the right call at this point. That yellow that is their corner guard that they threw, I'm not sure it was supposed to be a corner guard, but what is effectively a corner guard, is too narrow to throw inside out.
Behind,
and it's also just a little too wide to throw outside into, at least at this stage. Right. And so just trying to throw behind it, maybe see if you can get 1 or get 2 a really difficult way. It's not a bad spot. Being top 4 here is okay, but if they get a nice hit and roll, which I think is what they're going for here, it looks good for that.
Yeah.
If they get on it,
if they can miss that guard.
And they did. This is a great shot. It's going to get a nice roll.
Look at that.
That's a cowbell-worthy shot right there, yeah.
Good-looking shot there from Yellow.
That's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah. No, do you go after this right away, or do you play a little more conservatively with so many stones left?
You could peel the yellow.
Okay.
It's time now, I think.
And they can, right?
This is Hammer Team's seconds. So, yes, you can peel this guard.
And they're going to.
And that's what they're going to do. And typically, the strategy here is the peel is first priority. The second is
bonus.
The run back.
Right. The bonus.
Like if,
run back bonus.
If it looks like you might have the run back, you take the run back. or in this case, a double.
Yeah.
But really, you want to peel this.
You just
Keep
want
it open. Get both of those stones
Looks
out
like
of
he's
play.
got it.
And he got
Just
it.
knock
This
it
is
out.
great.
Yep.
Nice and open.
Well done.
If they don't guard that up appropriately, you might have a hit and roll behind the guard, which is nice. That's good.
Are you?
The other thing too is if you're yellow,
Yeah.
not that you see this too often at club level, but like every once in a while you'll see it come into effect. A blank end here is not a bad outcome for yellow.
With just 2 ends to play, including this one.
Correct.
Looks like they're going to try and guard it up.
Yep.
Which is a common call here.
If I'm red, a steal here is not a like maybe not a bad
priority.
outcome.
Yeah.
I don't. You got to be okay with giving them one. Your priority should be give them one. See if maybe you pull a steal out of it. It doesn't necessarily benefit you that much. But there's only been 2 deuces scored in the game, so.
Good point. One was a second end?
This is open. They're going to go after this. I like this call.
It's not the. Oh boy.
Oh, that's.
One. He goes, that looks to be okay. As long as there's no head contact.
Yeah. He tucked his head.
Yeah.
Tuck the chin. Tuck the chin.
Good call.
It was a good fall.
Good fall there from our skip. At the far end of the ice. All right. This is not the easiest court, but it's there for sure. He's got about 1.5 stones to fit it through. For my end, it looks to be a little bit wide.
It's got a curl.
They might want to get on it.
No, look at it move. Look at it
that.
move. They got to get on it. Now, though.
Wow. All right.
Look at that,
I think
bro.
that was really nice. I had a bad angle on it. I'm going to admit. Really good shot.
Still pretty exposed, though.
Yep. I mean, it's
They can
the
chase
same
it.
exact shot is right there. But
And this plays into yellow's hand here. This is a good situation for yellow.
yeah. And we talk about the level of curling here. These aren't automatic takeouts here. We're talking about.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. They are.
You force your opponent to make the same quality shot you just made.
But they were given the rubric and they got it. Same
did.
thing. Now, will they get the roll?
Looks like it might roll out. Will it hang on?
Oh, it curled back there. That could be
Yeah,
interesting.
it is. Yeah, grabbing the 12 here. So interesting. Obviously, it only comes into play, right, if there's essentially no other stones in the house.
But now you basically just took the blank
away.
out of play. You could add that with the last throw if there's nothing else in, but that's going to make that a lot harder.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that Red's
got to go for the button now. It's time.
try to
They gotta
bury
get
this
back
here.
there. This looks good. It feels like everybody's kind of adjusted
Yep,
to
the
the
weight.
ice.
Yeah, we haven't seen any.
A little light on this one, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a little light. It could be a little tough.
I'm not sure it's making it to the house.
It's not going to make it to the house. The other thing now is they have maybe the port to the right of the center line.
Yeah,
to come
I see that.
in. There's a lot of room
All the
there.
way across, yeah. But they're coming from that left side again.
It's not a bad option for yellow again to force red to have to throw.
Okay.
Because if you get something way out wide or even in the back, you should be totally fine with letting this be way in the back of the house or in the front of the house. Then you're forcing them to throw a really tough shot against 2. Because if yellow steals 2 here,
That's almost ball game. Yeah.
That's the
makes
best
it
out. If you're gonna steal, you really want to steal
2, right. Uh-oh. This is curling a little bit too much.
This could be doing red's job for them.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Oh boy.
If it gets just far enough outside, it might be okay.
It's okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Could be worse.
Now that does kind of flip the position that they're in because red could throw
a little bit tight there from yellow, and he's telling them about it.
Oh, are they gonna guard this instead?
Oh
no. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
That was where you wanted the stone, not the line. Okay. I like this better.
They're drawing in behind
drawing
the center
behind that. And now all of a sudden red's looking at possibly getting there too. This is where they want to be.
guard.
Feels a little wide.
Yeah. He's on it. He's trying to curl it
I think
over.
it's maybe a little light too.
Yeah.
It could sneak inside here. It's got a break now, though.
I think it's going to miss. Might just tick off that yellow. Wow, it's going to catch it pretty flush, actually.
Boy. Port's still there, though.
Yep.
That drop port is still there. Plus,
Yeah.
if they're wide, they could tap it straight back.
Does yellow want to hit that one on the right now, or no?
I would.
And tick and roll behind, maybe?
I would.
Hit and roll back across?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because here's the thing, too. I think even if you, as long as you throw hard enough, even if you were to wreck on the red guard up there,
yeah,
it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing for you either. They're going to try to draw that port, too, which is also good.
Yeah. The weights haven't been there, though. This is
a tough shot.
We're down to the skips throws here. Last two rocks at the end for yellow. And, yeah, I think the house is wide open as far as space.
Yeah,
Basically,
plenty of room, but
if you're fully inside the 8, you're scoring here.
got to find the right weight. Got to hit that port.
Yeah. We have some odd symmetry going on here with the center guard and then some guards on the wings.
See, now
They're going to hit it.
I hope that's the case. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, because almost any hit's going to sit you scoring 2.
Yep. And if you throw heavy enough, I don't think there's any, unless you like barely.
Yeah.
I guess there's probably an angle on that front red where you're in trouble.
I thought this was the right call from beforehand, and I'm not very good at curling, so here we go. Well, he likes it.
He's definitely going to make contact, so he's going to get that job done. But if he gets on the inside of the nose here, he's going to get a good roll. I don't know why they're sweeping.
Yeah, I would have stayed off it, but that's
okay.
fine.
That's okay. It's not a bad outcome at all.
So yellow just given up 2 to tie it up at 4 apiece. Now they're sitting 2. 2 stones left for red. They have thoughts maybe of hitting now and sitting 1.
Yeah, Perry. What's your recent vicing mind think about this?
Well, no, I like this because first of all, the other team just did it. Now I want to be the shot we wanted. I wanted to be inside and roll behind and force them to do. Because there's not a lot of hit opportunity for yellow if you do that. And you don't have to be terribly accurate as far as the weight goes. You're gonna if you just hit just left of nose. I think you have plenty of room to wherever that ends up, you're going to be scoring.
It's kind of interesting pyramid and spacing of all these stones here. I was just thinking, like, the one downside with that hit and roll is if you don't perfectly get it tucked behind a stone, there's a lot of wide open ports that you could throw directly at.
But we haven't seen, especially with these ice conditions, a lot of accurate draws.
Ooh, this has to curl a lot.
Yeah, it's wide.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Is it going to split them? No, I might catch that. Well,
this could catch the back one.
This could work.
Get the back one gone. That's okay. You get the back one gone.
That's true.
Not the worst outcome.
Because again, right, they could still give up 1 and be okay. That's if you're red. No, sorry, red has hammer.
Red has hammer. You don't want to give up. But
no. I'm saying.
But you do start at a certain point. You do start asking yourself, "Is it okay if you let him steal 1? Is that necessarily better than only getting 1 here?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe."
Yeah. So looks
now
like the draw is a call here. It appears.
Try to put it through the yellow-red porch.
Yeah, the high left. It looks like. Now again,
which if they want to, I think that's the right call.
Yep. Just has to get inside the 8 to score for yellow.
Yeah, maybe half in the white.
Yeah.
Feels a little wide.
Yeah, just these weights with like I said, with the empty sheet, they've had some trouble with draw weight, and this is gonna catch that red. It's gonna catch that red guard.
Oh no!
They're gonna hope it doesn't push it into the.
It's pushed in.
Oh my! Well, I'm not.
Oh, not quite. Not quite. Okay.
I didn't think it had the weight to cause any damage there. Now, red can.
Red can't get more than 1 here, though.
True.
Well, okay, that's not true. I guess there is maybe the split, but that's so difficult.
Yeah, I don't think that's the call.
And the yellow is deep enough that if you don't hit it just right, you might still give yellow 1.
Yeah.
It's a tough.
I
tough
think you
spot
just try to
be.
draw into the 8. There's a plenty of room.
Yeah, you only got to be half in the white.
Okay.
Half in the white, you're fine.
Right.
It's wide open. Unless the red is biting, in which that front red is biting. But I don't think
hitting that yellow and trying that shot again is easier, or are they probably just as hard as trying
probably
to draw
skip confidence
Yep.
thing. Are you confident in throwing the draw or not?
That's what they want.
I think it's the right call.
They considered hitting the yellow that's sitting inside the 12 over there, but now they're not going to do it.
I think this is the right call.
Yeah.
But then again, the right call is the one that you feel like you
left him hanging there on the fist bump, but
hopefully that won't affect his.
I think he's locked in. He's locked in.
Yeah. This, folks, is why you never leave your skip hanging.
No, on any kind of fist bump. No, I fist bump Sam even when he misses a shot, and he doesn't like it. Actually, he kind of just ignores me. But that's not my problem.
That's fine. You let him do that. That's fine.
Yeah. Exactly. The fist bump is there to be had. All right, here's the draw. They need to get on this, I think. They need to be on hard.
Feels good.
Yeah?
I think it's good.
Okay.
They're still walking at a good pace, and they're like I think this is close to T line.
Okay.
If anything, they got to start worrying about if it's too deep. But I think it's okay.
That's a good looking shot. All right.
That's nice.
So red picks up one. They take the lead.
Red
going
won.
into the last end. This is it. This is a good one to call, I think.
I appreciate that. Like we were probably going to call what was on sheet C no matter what because of the space that we had here.
Yeah.
But we asked and sheet C delivered.
It could have been B, and they're also having a good game. So
yeah, this is a great game over here too.
Yeah.
Actually, good games on A and B.
Yeah.
We just saw a spinorama on E.
Yeah. Look at that house. Well, you can't unless you're looking at E, but don't go anywhere. Stay on C.
I think red must be out of stones here. So on E. So that's why Scott decided to throw that one away.
All right.
That's fine.
We're on to the 8th end with red leading 5-4. And they want to make sure this gets across. Although if you're red and leading, you don't want to have too much congestion, right? You want to have a pretty open house.
You do have one issue with red not having hammer.
Yeah.
It probably behooves you to have some stuff in play.
Want some stuff in play, okay.
Because you're gonna need to hide. Like the unfortunate, you can get away with giving away one.
Right.
But you do not want it to be a big open-ended game.
I got you.
Now, would I have wanted to give them a corner guard? Absolutely not.
No, okay. That's what I was thinking. You didn't want it over there. This is not necessarily where yellow wanted to go, but is this all bad? Is this an okay shot for yellow? I mean, they're obviously going to go after it, but
so yeah,
if it turns into a takeout game,
red doesn't want a takeout game.
Okay.
They can play it if they need to.
Yeah.
Because then it means that they're only ever going to give up one if they end up playing that. But I don't think that's the safe way to do it. If anything, you maybe play a freeze or put some junk in the middle here, make yellow have to think about what they're doing.
I wouldn't have minded a freeze with the backup of being.
I understand asking for a freeze at club level is an incredibly difficult thing to do.
I like to try them.
But sometimes you do it and you're like, well, if you're light, it's okay.
Yeah.
That was a good outcome.
Yeah.
This is a really, really nice outcome here.
Yep. Because it actually rolled behind your guard a little bit.
I think it really works well for red if there's a bunch of stuff in the house that you can play off of.
That makes sense. Okay.
Now, it's not great if all the stuff that you're playing off of is your opponent's stones, but stones in play, stones in the back of the house, gives you some things to freeze on, gives you some things to move around. Very good sweeping technique.
Yeah, he's on it.
If he can stay in line here, it'd be really nice.
He can sit right on the stone if he just gets it. Not bad.
That's not bad.
I think that's scoring.
I think it's scoring too. I think that is a scoring stone.
Whoa! Look out.
He gave everything on that sweep.
Be careful out there.
This is where the playing three hands starts to become a little bit of an issue.
Stamina.
Yeah.
He's feeling it.
Yeah.
Now, if